Here's how to create a simple trip in RV Trip Wizard. We've already logged in. We'll click on New Trip. We'll give it a name. We'll call it Short Trip. And we'll choose a starting date. We'll go for June 1. And we'll click Create. Now I have 3 ways to choose a starting location. I can use my current location, enter an address directly, or click Show Map and find a place on the map. We'll use my location. Be sure and allow access when your web browser asks. We'll move these out of the way and we'll zoom out. You can see we have these driving radii, or distance rings we often call them. You'll find a separate video on those driving radii on our YouTube channel. Right now we're going to show the available campgrounds, and let's plan on a little trip to Galveston. We'll zoom in and we see several campgrounds. You can see I have 3 filters applied. Let's open the Research tab and see what filters I have. By clicking on the Filters button, you can see I'm choosing campgrounds that are 3 stars and above, 50 amp, and pull-through. Let's refine that even a little bit more. We'll choose the park features. We're going to choose pets allowed and big rig access. And you can see I'm already set on 50 amp, and I have other choices available as well. We'll close that Research tab for now. And we'll zoom in. We'll start clicking on a few. You'll see the miles they are from our location. You'll see their name and their rating. If we see one of interest, we can click More Details. You'll be able to click through a few photographs, a myriad of other information, which we'll cover in other videos. Let's go ahead and add 2 nights to this stay. We'll add it to our trip. You can see on the left we have our starting location and our first stop. Now if this were the end of our trip, we would plan our route home by clicking on the Round Trip Options button. Now to get back home, I can just click Round Trip Options. I can mirror the stops back to the start point or choose a direct route. We're not ready to go home yet, so we'll click Cancel. Let's find another campground. Let's choose a campground here in the Austin area. There seems to be a lot of them. Let's go back to the Research tab and look at the campgrounds by rating. We'll click Sort and then click By Rating. We'll see several campgrounds, 5 stars, multiple reviews. Let's choose that one. You can see it's bobbing up and down on the left. Let's go ahead and add 1 night. We'll create a separate video on this campground details screen in the near future. So as we zoom out, you can see this next leg of our journey has been added to our trip. So let's look at those round trip options again. I don't want to mirror the stops. I want to take a direct route back home. As you can see, RV Trip Wizard made that last connection home. It finished that last leg for us. Essentially, we now have a complete trip. Let's add some components to that. We're going to need fuel along the way, so we'll add some fuel stops. We'll highlight the Flying J's, we'll choose one, we'll add it to our trip. I'm going to add this stop in line after our initial starting point, but before our campground stop. We'll also add a rest area stop on the way down. Click on the rest area POI. We can choose this. We're going to scroll in close enough so we can find the southbound stop. And there it is. We're going to add that to our trip as well. We'll add this to our location before we even get fuel. And you can see here on the left the order of the trip. Starting point, rest area, fuel, first campground, second campground, and return home. Scroll back out and take a look. And there's a complete, simple trip in under 5 minutes. Look for more of our videos on Facebook and YouTube. Just search for RV Trip Wizard.